everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to begin to explore the evil core of narcissism. Now, evil is both a difficult and an easy concept to define. Partly it's personal, though. What I consider evil might be different from what you consider to be evil. And there's also a difference between a religious, a philosophical, and a scientific view of what is evil. So in today's video, to simplify the situation, what I'm going to use as a definition of evil is this: placing your own interests over others, taking pleasure in hurting other people, and not feeling guilt or shame. For many of us who are involved or were involved with narcissists, we recognize that definition. I've heard it said often that narcissists are evil. So in today's video, I'm going to begin to explore that a little bit. I'm going to be doing this in a generalized way today, but as the weeks go on, I'm actually going to explore this a little more in depth because, like I said, there are different ways to define evil. There is a religious view of evil, a philosophical, and a scientific view. So each of those are going to have their own video, but today I'm going to just jump into it by talking about this in a generalized way. Before I get too far into the video, one of the most important aspects of narcissism to remember is that they know what they're doing. Right from the beginning, narcissists are playing you. They know they hurt other people and they do it anyways. They know they could change, but they choose not to. Always remember that. For a long time, I believed that my ex was clueless about the things that he was doing. And that made me feel almost bad for him. Like I didn't understand. I thought he didn't know that he was hurting me or hurting the kids or hurting other people. And the reality, though, was that I was the one that was clueless. I didn't understand what was really going on. Narcissists know what they're doing. They have evil actions and they're okay with the way that they live. Think about yourself. You're not helpless to control how you are. I can give you two examples of something I did that was wrong and something I did that was right. And in both situations, I knew exactly what I was doing. Recently, I was at the grocery store with my son, and this was before my rabbit died, and I saw at the grocery store they had carrots with the tops still attached. The rabbit loved that, but the rabbit, I know people think rabbits love carrots. They don't really love them that much, or at least the rabbits I've had haven't been that big on them. My kids and I don't really eat carrots, so I knew if I bought the whole thing, the carrots with the tops, I was going to throw the carrots away. So, and they're expensive to buy that. I just wanted a handful of the carrot tops. So I thought to myself, I'm just going to take some of these carrot tops. Just take them. I'll just put them in a bag and no one will know. So I grabbed some of these carrot tops and I was literally going to just take them. And my son was like, "What are you doing? You're stealing these carrot tops." And then I'm like, "You're right, I am. Oh my gosh." So I bought the whole carrot thing. I took the carrot tops, I put them in the bag with the carrots, and I paid for the whole thing. But initially, I just was thinking to myself, I just want these carrot tops. No one's going to notice. It's fine. I'm just going to put them in the cart. No, I'm just not going to pay for them. I'm not thinking. Then when my son brought that to my attention, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm stealing from the store." I mean, it was just a little thing, but still, like, this is what happened. If I was a narcissist, I would have justified it. I would have thought to myself, I need these carrot tops. No one's going to miss them. Someone else is going to buy the carrots and throw away the carrot tops. I might as well have them. And also, I'm going to be saving money for my family because I'm not buying these carrots and I'm going to throw away. I'm not wasting food. I mean, I could have had a million excuses, but the reality is it was the wrong thing to do. And when I got home, if I had stolen those carrot tops, when I got home and I'm feeding them to my rabbit, I would have felt very guilty. That really would have bothered me. Now, on the other hand, several years ago, I was out in a parking lot and I was backing out my car and I crashed into the car behind me. So I had a Hummer at that time, so my car was totally fine, but the other car was damaged. And I was like, "Oh, great." So I called my ex and I told him, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just crashed into the car behind me and there's damage in the car. What should I do?" And he told me, he's like, "Did anybody see you?" And I'm like, "I don't think so." And he's like, "Well, just get out of there. Just go. Don't worry about it. Just forget it." And I'm thinking to myself, I can't possibly do that for a couple of reasons. One, I felt bad. I felt guilty. I crashed into somebody's car. It was 100% my fault. Like, I'm just going to leave this like damaged vehicle there and drive off like I didn't do anything. I would have felt really guilty about that. And then the other thing is, I have my kids with me. I'm just going to show them this. I'm just going to damage somebody's vehicle and just drive away like I didn't do it. What type of mother was I? So I told him I couldn't do it. And he was really mad at me about it. But still, I wrote the person a note. So I wrote a note. I left my phone number, told him what happened, and I put it under his windshield. So that night, I got a phone call from this guy. And it turns out that he was an ex-police officer. He told me, I have never actually seen somebody do this. It's like, I've never heard of someone doing this. I can't believe you did that. You left your real number. That never happens. He's like, I'm so touched that you did this. He's like, if you could just help me pay part of the deductible, like, that's it. So he told me, like, how about $200? So I didn't even pay half his deductible. He just wanted a little bit. I paid him $200 and it was great. He was happy. I was happy. I could sleep fine that night. My kids didn't see me do something horrible. Everything worked out. That's because I have a conscience. A narcissist, like, my ex, he wanted me to just drive away. They would have just stolen the carrot tops. They don't have morality. There's nothing backing them up. Narcissists are a lot of words. They're all words, but there's no action. This is a problem that people have when they're with narcissists to begin with. A narcissist will tell you anything that they think you want to hear. They're always trying to get away with something. They're all words, no action. I have learned the hard way that when it comes to anything, action matters. Words don't mean anything. People can tell you anything. It's easy to tell people things. It's not as easy to have the action there. If you think about, I've said this in other videos too, if you think about the US dollar, right? Our dollar, if you live in the US, the dollar is fiat money. It's fake money. It doesn't mean anything. It's valueless. There's no value to our money. It's paper. If I have a $1 bill or a $100 bill, the value's exactly the same. The only difference between that, the only reason that even my dollar has any value, the reason I can go to the store today and take that paper money and use it, is because of the faith that people have in the U.S. government. Our money used to be backed by the gold standard. So literally our money, our dollars, were worth their weight in gold. It's not like that anymore. There's no value to it at all. I can't go to a bank and exchange it for gold. In order to get gold, I'd have to spend a lot of dollars to get that. And even then, it is because of the faith that people have in the government. Even our coins have no value. If I take a quarter or a dime, it's not really worth 10 cents or 25 cents. It's worth less than that. Before, I think it's 1964. It's either 1964 or 1965. Prior to that, coins had real silver in it, so they had real value. None of our money has value. So that's kind of how it is with a narcissist. The narcissist, or anybody, the only value anybody has is with their actions. A narcissist or anybody, me, you can say anything to somebody else, but if there is no actions, please consider that, because that is going to make all the difference in the value of that person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about 7 warning signs that somebody is evil. Now remember, this is just a beginning concept for the video. I'm going to be making some other videos exploring these things in depth, but this is a starting point for how you can recognize evil in somebody. Now, when I say evil, if you are familiar with narcissism, you really could substitute narcissism for each thing that I'm going to say. And of course, I should preface this by saying there are more than these, but just for the length of the video, I'm going to talk about 7 things that point to evilness in somebody. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is that an evil person enjoys the misfortune of others. So be very careful here. If you are involved with somebody who is evil, who enjoys the misfortunes of other people, you're going to be in the line of fire. Evil people enjoy watching other people suffer. They like it when bad things happen to other people. It makes them feel good about themselves. And oftentimes, evil people create misfortune for other people so that they can enjoy watching the reaction. So if you're in a relationship with somebody who is evil, somebody who's a narcissist, very likely, very probably, they're going to cause problems in your life so they can watch your reaction and silently be happy. This is disgusting behavior, but this is what happens. My ex liked hearing bad things happen to other people. If somebody got laid off, he was excited about it. If something bad happened, somebody got sick, he liked it. I mean, this really happened. This is what happens when people are evil, when people are narcissists. There's no goodness in them. They don't think, that other people have real feelings or other people are hurt. All they think about is themselves, and they feel horrible about themselves. They always act like they feel so great about themselves. There's a dichotomy to narcissism. There's a dichotomy to evilness. The way that the person acts isn't really how they are. Inside, there's a core of shame, and they're always hiding that by their bad deeds. And this is just an example of that. So, number one, they enjoy the misfortunes of others. And please be careful with that, because you're going to be in the line of fire. Number two, they are habitually dishonest. Now, when I'm talking about somebody who is habitually dishonest, I'm not talking about an occasional lie, somebody might say to get out of plans, or maybe, your friend has this new haircut that you don't like, and they ask you if you like it, and you tell them that you do. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about straight up pathological liars. Their lies form their reality. Evil people lie to manipulate you and feel better about themselves. And if they're caught in a lie, they're going to gaslight you or abuse you. Typically in my situation, my ex would go straight into a silent treatment because I caught him in several lies. And when I would bring them up, he was not going to apologize or confess or tell me, who knows what he was going to tell me. He was going to go straight into absolutely denying it. That's the thing with somebody who's evil. Somebody who's a narcissist, you could show them a red apple and they're going to insist it's blue. It doesn't matter that they can see it. I mean, this is the type of dishonesty that you're dealing with. They absolutely refuse to admit something that they don't want to admit. All evidence could be blaring in their face and they will not admit it. They will blame you. They will abuse you. They will do anything. It's all about themselves. They don't have any feelings for anybody else. They have to cover for themselves, and they'll do it at any cost. They will die defending themselves. They'll die defending obvious lies. This is the type of thing that you're dealing with. They'll get mad at you for trying to ruin the reality that they carefully constructed. Number three, you can feel evil. Our bodies emit an energy field and other people can feel it. That's why if you've ever been around somebody and you just get this bad feeling, a lot of times it seems that animals can pick up on this, particularly dogs. Anybody who has dogs, I'm sure you've seen this. My dogs have done this too. Every once in a while, they just won't like somebody for no apparent reason. They're picking up on the energy field. We also can pick up on this energy field. So it's a difficult concept to understand, but if you think of it this way, what you put into your body shows on the outside, right? Like, for example, let's just go with nutrition. If you ate a bunch of junk, that's going to affect the way that you feel, right? If I say tonight I eat a bunch of junk, right? So I'm eating a cake and cookies and drinking a soda afterwards. In the morning when I wake up, I'm going to feel disgusted. I'm going to be bloated. I'm going to be lethargic. I'm not going to be feeling that great about myself. I'm not going to be up and raring to go. But compare that to, say, I ate something really good. So I ate some vegetables. I was drinking a lot of water. I went to bed early. I got a good night's sleep. The difference between how I would feel if I did that compared to how I would feel if I ate a bunch of junk would be very obvious. So that's kind of the way that it is with somebody who's evil. What they do every day, that feeds them. They're lying all the time. They're manipulating people all the time. That goes into them. So what comes out is their negative energy field that other people can feel. If you're a good person, that goodness comes out. It seeps out of your pores. Other people can feel it. Just like you can be around somebody and just know that there's something off. Like you just don't feel good around this person. The same thing can happen. You could just feel good around somebody. You don't know why. You just do. It's because of who that person is, what they're taking in. There really is an energy field. And I'm going to talk about that when I get into the scientific view of narcissism, of evilness. So that is number three. Number four, they lack remorse. Evil people don't feel guilt. This is how they do the things that they do in the first place. I've said it before, and it's really important to consider. If you do not have morals, if you do not feel guilt, if you really don't care about anybody else, think about what you would be able to do. Evil people are not God-fearing people. So if you're not bothered by God, you're not bothered by morals, you really don't care about anybody else, there is nothing you wouldn't be capable of doing. It just doesn't matter. You're not going to be bothered by guilt that would hold a lot of us back. You could just plow straight ahead and cause massive destruction to society, and you would sleep just fine at night. That is evil. That is what I'm talking about. They just don't care. It's difficult to understand that, but if you really think about it, if you think about, geez, if I really didn't care about anybody else, if I really had no morals, if I had no faith, I don't believe God's there anyways, why wouldn't you do anything that you want to do? There'd be nothing holding you back. So that is going to be number 4. Number 5, evil people confuse you. And remember, this is all deliberate. They will act like it's not deliberate, but it's all deliberate. They know what they are doing. Evil people want power and control. So the more scattered, scared, and unsure you are, the more power that they have. To this day, I'm still confused by things that my ex has done. I can't understand it. And if I take too long thinking about it, because sometimes this will happen, I'll start thinking about it and then I'll go down this rabbit hole just thinking about it over and over. Like, why is he doing that? How could this be? It confuses you. And when somebody is really confused, when somebody has you confused by their actions, they have a level of control over you because you don't understand them and you don't have a sure footing. You don't know how to proceed with this person. This is all intentional. That's part of what makes somebody evil to begin with, or what makes somebody a narcissist to begin with, the way that they purposely try to unstabilize you. They don't want you as a stable person. They need you confused because they have an agenda that they want to have you participate in. You don't know this, but this is what they're doing. Everything is intentional. Once you understand the reality of who this person really is, so much is going to change, and you can make better decisions based on who this person really is, not who you think that they are, right? Like, think about that fiat money again, right? Don't put your faith in somebody who doesn't deserve it, who hasn't earned it. There's no value to the narcissist outside of the value that you give them. Number 6, evil people lack responsibility because they have no morals. So they do what they want and they don't feel responsible for the pain that they cause others. In my own situation, I find this to be a very difficult concept, and this goes into the confusion as well. My ex has nothing to do with his minor children, to the point where he doesn't even ask about them. I mean, really, he has 2 minor children. For 1 year, 1 solid year, there's been 0 relationship. He hasn't called them, texted them, asked about them, nothing. He doesn't care about financially supporting them. It doesn't matter. He's not worried about them. Our son needed braces. He didn't think that it was important to pay for these. I mean, no matter what it is, he's not there. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. There's no responsibility. Typically, somebody has a child, has a pet, has a goldfish, and you feel responsible. I have animals and I take care of them. I have a fish, I feed the fish. I feel responsible for this fish. My ex could care less what my kids are eating for dinner tonight, what is going on with anything related to them. He doesn't care how they do in school. He doesn't care how they are emotionally. It doesn't matter. There's no responsibility. My ex also, and this was before we split up. So we split up. I had to kick him out of the house one day in December of 2019 because he tried to get me arrested. This could not have been known. I didn't know this was going to happen. There's no way he could have known this could happen. 2 weeks prior to this, unbeknownst to me, he decided not to pay any bills that had come to the house. None, including the mortgage or anything. He didn't feel responsible for this. I pay all the bills now, and I can tell you, I feel very strongly that I need to pay all my bills. There is no way that my mortgage would come to the house and I would just decide to ignore it because I'm responsible for taking care of my family. An evil person, a narcissist, is not encumbered by that. They are really a different type of person. Nothing bothers them. If I didn't pay my mortgage, I would be thinking about that every single second. I mean, I would do whatever I had to do to pay that. When it comes to an evil person, they don't care. They don't care that they signed saying that they were going to do this, that they were going to pay this, that they're going to lose their house if they don't pay this. It doesn't matter for somebody that has no responsibilities. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about, the last sign of evilness today that I'm going to talk about, is that they lead dozens of lives. Somebody who's evil doesn't have a core personality that everybody knows. Their core is their evilness, but they can't show that to people. And this in itself tells you that they understand what they're doing. Who they know they have to hide who they are. So very often, very typically, they're a different person to everybody that they know. So the way that they are with you, with their kids, with people at work, with, the neighbors, with the librarian, whoever they're around, they're a different person around everybody. They put on an act. They can't be who they are. They have to pretend to be whoever they think that person wants them to be, right? This goes into who they pretend to be is the personality that they want other people to think that they have. Their real personality is the evil personality, but they understand that that's not acceptable. They don't think that that should be that way, but they understand it is because they have an agenda and they go through life enforcing their agenda in any way that they can. So with this said, if you are in a relationship with somebody like this, obviously this is going to have a severe impact on your well-being, and it's like I was talking about earlier, if you eat a bunch of junk, how are you going to feel the next day? If you're with somebody who's evil, that is what is around you. That is what you're taking in every day. So that is going to manifest into you feeling horrible. This is why people have PTSD, CPTSD, you're trauma bonded. This person affects you drastically. But once you understand who this person is, you can start changing your reality. Crucially, narcissists are not as smart, or evil people, I know this is a video about evil as well, they're not as smart as they think that they are. The truth is that your daily habits show on the outside, right? With anything. The problems that you have today are the result of things that happened in the past. Now, when it comes to narcissism, when it comes to people who are evil, the things that you were not aware of, you are not responsible for. So somebody's tricking you, somebody stole from you, that is not your fault. But once you know, once you understand who this person is, it is imperative that you take the necessary steps to change your future. Think about it just if you wanted to lose weight, right? Like say I was really overweight because I ate too much junk. I was always eating junk food. Now I'm overweight. I can't blame somebody else for that. But let's pretend I'm overweight and my ex was the one that was always feeding me cake and pizzas and things like that. I'm overweight now. I can't blame him for the way that I look. I was the one that, that got this way. I'm the only one that can change myself in the future. So if I want to be better, if I want to lose weight, I would have to eat better going forward. I can't change what I did in the past. That's already happened, right? So you'd have to start today. So it's the same thing with anything that is going on in your life. If you have a bad relationship, if you're trying to get out of the relationship, if you want to start over, you have to take steps today. Start today. Don't start tomorrow. Don't be this person. Well, I'll start my diet on Monday, or tomorrow I'm going to eat this big meal tonight. Don't do that. Think about what you can do today to make your life better. I'm all about trying to be the best person that you can be. So many of us have suffered tremendously under narcissistic abuse, under people who are evil. It's up to us to make the change every day. Now, I understand it's not as easy as just saying, all right, that's fine, I'm going to end the relationship and I'm moving out today. You probably can't do that, but you can take some steps, right? Really, it's easy if you think about it in terms of a diet, all right? Think about what you can change. Maybe I can cut out soda, or maybe I won't eat dessert tonight, whatever it is, like little steps like that. If you do that in your real life, you can also make tremendous changes, because really any change that you make is going to be a result of these little changes piling up, and soon you'll have the life that you want. It's really tragic for so many of us because we are in these relationships. We get into these relationships. We don't know we're in a relationship with somebody who's evil. Then we discover it. And then what are we supposed to do to get out? We've been so destroyed at this point. But the reality is that we are blessed to be awake, to know what is really going on. And we have the opportunity now to make better choices, better decisions that will affect us and our children. You know, I'm starting over my life. I'm in my 40s. I'm starting over my life with really no financial security. I have to start over, and it really is unfortunate. It's not my favorite thing that I have to do this, but I feel blessed anyways, because I'm not with this person that was purposely and deliberately hurting me. I have the choice to start over. I can make better choices. I can get my financial life in order, and that's what I'm working on now. And so can everybody else. We all can do this. Everybody has the ability. Once you're awake, really, nothing can stand in your way. If you have the knowledge, if you have the power, if you have the strength, and sometimes you have to just force yourself to have it, you can accomplish anything. Anything. The narcissist, the evil one, is not going to be able to hold you back. They are a weak, scared, pathetic person. You are a soldier. You can get things done. I believe in you. All you need to do is believe in yourself, and nothing will stop you. Start today. Starting over with nothing is not easy, but you're free. And be grateful for what you do have, and your life is going to be the most fantastic thing ever. The narcissist will always be a narcissist. You can be anything that you want. Thank you very much for watching my video. I'm very grateful. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all things related to narcissism. So if all goes well, I will see you on Wednesday. And like I said, I'm planning on extending my videos on the evil of narcissism in many different ways over the next several weeks. So if you have any ideas for that, please put it in the comments. And I hope everybody has a great start to their week. God bless you.